Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the spaces. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the spaces. Oh, yeah, I gotta get my dog up in here. So, you hear me lighting this bitch? And we're gonna talk some shit. We're gonna talk some shit. And I don't mean shit as in like it's gonna be bullshit. But I mean like we're gonna actually talk about some deep shit, right? So, before I got on this spaces, I was on the phone with my boy Sway, and I was like, "Hey, Sway, like, let's get on live, right?" And while I'm like, "Let's get on Spaces," and I said, in the midst of our conversation, I want y'all to really hear me on this. In the midst of our conversation, I was talking about a lot of people are really going against the flow. What's up, Auntie? A lot of people are really going against the flow, and I know you're probably like, "Bitch, like I've heard this shit so many times, like going against the flow, go against the flow," but you don't really know what that shit means because if you really knew what going with the flow really meant, you would understand that going with the flow means that you are not going to fight what the fuck is in front of you. The thing is that you have to have the intelligence and the discernment to know when it's time for you to go with the flow and when it's time for you to set initiative. You get what I'm saying? This is the month of November. You get what I'm saying? So we got to think about what is endings. Endings is also a time to surrender. And, the best thing I can give you is seed time harvest. Seed time harvest. Think about seed as the one, right? And then think about time as the six. And then think about the harvest as the nine. When you plant the seed, that's when you're putting all your initiative in. But after that, all it is maintenance and letting it go. A lot of y'all don't know what it means to just let shit run its course or let shit work for you. I know in Kundalini and in Sanskrit and all these things, they say, let the hand of God work for you. But it's like, I feel like as a seven, one thing I can teach you is that mastery is also understanding being the most effortless that you can be. Think about it. When you look at people who have mastered their craft, don't they just look effortless? Don't they just look graceful? Right? And mastery is getting to that point where you know what you're doing so much it becomes graceful, right? But think about it in a form of life where you can have so much trust and so much faith in your own, in your own thinking. You have so much faith and so much trust in how things are going to unfold for you that you walk with a level of grace. You walk with a level of trust. But the thing about it is that you don't have trust. You are scared out your fucking mind about life for whatever reason. It's like you're scared of yourself. It's funny how faith and fear both start with F. So in my eyes, it shows that six is has she sees things in different perspectives. So you can either look at things from a perspective of faith or a perspective of fear. Faith and fear is half empty, half full. And my thing about it is that most of the times the shit that you be fearful of, you don't even truly experience that shit unless it's something that you're constantly thinking about. Like, a lot of y'all need to buckle the fuck up and stop being so fucking scared because a lot of y'all are truly just afraid of the very thing that you want. You're afraid of the very thing that you're asking for. You're afraid of the very thing that you want to experience. You see, you're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of being super successful. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. I just feel like in my eyes, you experience failure after some type of success, in my opinion. And my thing is that you're not truly afraid of failure. You're afraid of being super successful. You're afraid of actually having to walk your talk. You get what I'm saying? You're not afraid of being broke your whole life because you've been broke before. You know what that is. You're afraid of being rich your whole life because of the fear that once you reach that success of going back. So the truth be told is that you're afraid of having the success. But let me tell you something about that, right? A lot of you guys are highly intelligent. And the one thing I've noticed about highly intelligent people is we overthink the fuck out of shit. And a lot of times we will think ourselves into a point of insecurity as if we're not overqualified while we got dumb motherfuckers out here in position. Dumb motherfuckers are out here in position all because they wasn't entertaining fear while you was over here being super fucking logical. You know, I noticed that when I found myself having the most success, it was when I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna do what the fuck I wanna do. It's letting that inner child live. It's letting that inner child live, letting that you see the thing is that you have to dare to do new things. You done allowed yourself to grow up so much. You've literally silenced your inner child and you're afraid to try new things. You're afraid to be a kid. You're afraid to be vulnerable. You're afraid to mess up. Man, kids will fucking fall on their ass and get right back the fuck up as if nobody saw that shit. But you won't even try at the idea of maybe you'll fall. The child didn't even think that much. You know, and I read this book called Relentless by Kobe Bryant, right? And it talked about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan both understood don't think, just do. Don't think, just do. Some of y'all are thinking too much. You're thinking too much. What you need to do is you over prepare, then go with the flow. Kobe Bryant over prepared, and then when it came to the game, he went with the flow. You feel me? Like, man, I just have so many different realizations about how life can go in so many different routes. And you gotta understand, you know, Kobe Bryant said, are you the same beast but a different animal? And that shit started to make sense because guess what? A month can have, you know, it can be a 1 month, but every day is a different energy. So yeah, you want to be aggressive throughout the month or you want to be a leader throughout the month, but it may have to look different every day. And the thing about it is that in this season, you may supposed to be a lion, or next season you're supposed to be a cat, or whatever the case may be. You may supposed to be more quiet this season, you know. And it's like life can be so much easier if you listen. But everybody got egos, and everybody wants to talk before they can ever hear anything. Are you fucking stupid? You know nothing. I know nothing. And because we both say that we know nothing, we have the ability to eventually learn everything. You know, my parents would say a hard head makes for a soft behind. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because a lot of you guys, your intuition has been gnawing you, has been telling you, your spirit, your ancestors, your dreams have been telling you it's time to make a type of decision. It's time to make a certain change. It's time for you to take things serious. And it's like you keep waiting. But my question is if you know time is not on our side, what the fuck are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You know what I'm saying? You're able to go with the flow and float a little bit and still do a couple of kicks. You know what I'm saying? What about you, Sway? How you feel about fear? Because you know, sometimes I feel like people are so afraid of fear, not realizing that, you know, sometimes fear can really become a fuel too. You know?
I feel with fear, sometimes fear is just like the old just creeping back in, just trying to sneak back up on you. And at least you're aware of it. You're like, oh no, 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 no. I don't want to go back into that old version of myself. Like, no, I gotta really defeat it.
Yup.
The defeat, right? The death to the fear. The feet,
Mm,
at your feet.
wow.
So it's kind of
I like that. You said defeat. The death of the fear. And it's funny because I was just watching a 50 Cent interview, and I almost start to think that people who have no understanding of the danger, it's almost like they never see it. And what I mean by that is like, okay, like a child doesn't think about the danger. It isn't until we get older that we think about danger. A child isn't thinking about, oh my God, I could break my bones, I could do this, I could do that, I could do that. The child is just like, I'm just gonna go for it. And it starts to make me think like some of the ways that we've been taught to think, how much of it is actually so fucking wrong. Like maybe I shouldn't be always worried about what could go wrong because You growing up as a child and now being taught, hey, danger is real. Now in your head, you're now starting with, oh my God, what could go wrong? You feel me? Like I just feel like in order for you to have any type of success, you gotta really know risk. Like you need to become best friends with risk. You feel me? I'm a 7 life path. I love to take a good gamble. Because here's one thing. Here's it. Here it is though. I don't like to gamble on anything but myself. See, y'all niggas is better than me. Y'all be gambling on players. Y'all be gambling on like y'all better than me. I don't know them niggas. I don't know what them niggas was thinking that day. I don't know if that nigga was smoking that day. I don't got no control of that nigga. I'm not betting on that nigga. I'm not betting on no nigga. You feel me? Like I'm for the bet on my fucking self. So that's the thing. Y'all be so willing to bet on these sports niggas. Are you betting on your own self? You feel me? Because one thing about it, I know that if I'm betting on myself, I'm cashing out every time. Period. Fuck is you talking about? But y'all niggas be afraid to cash out on yourself or bet on yourself. You know what's crazy? I've put myself in predicaments. Like I've done things like cleared out thousands of dollars out my bank account just to put me back to zero, just to see how fast I could hustle for it back. I swear I've done this before. I swear I've done this before. Because one thing about it, I know that if I put myself in the fear now, can't shit scare me. That's what makes 50 Cent so fucking powerful. Because 50 Cent looked at everybody's fear right in the eye, defeated that bitch. Man, ain't nothing gonna scare that nigga now. And of course it would be a cat, huh? Cats always lands on their feet. You feel me? But that's a fact though. Like, like bet on yourself. Like there's things that people have told me, oh, do you think you could do this by this date or do this? And in my head I'm like, shit, we gonna find out. And when I talk to these people, I'm gonna let them know, yup, yes I can, because the thing about it is I'm putting myself in position. When you put your back against the wall, that's when you perform the best. You feel me? I thrive well under pressure. I'm an athlete. This is why I hope all y'all play sports. I'm an athlete. That adrenaline keep me going. So my body has been in survival mode. My body has been in fearful states and learned how to still perform. That's why yoga is important too. Because when you're doing yoga, you're putting yourself in a stressful state and still finding a way to breathe calmly and to have what's the word? Awareness. What is you talking about, man? Niggas don't know what the fuck they be doing for real. Niggas just be out here like, I'm telling you, like, y'all be thinking all of these super successful people, oh my God, like, they're just so fucking genius. They're just so fucking genius. No, it's something about them that they didn't let die that the system wants to kill in you, which is your spirit, which is your drive. Some of y'all have given up before you even tried. Because it's like, man, but it's hard. Everybody's out there. Everybody's doing it though. I don't give a fuck. Man, I'll be like, oh, I'm for to start this business. And somebody come in and be like, oh, well, it's a saturated business. It's a saturated business. It's 7 billion people in this motherfucker. It's a saturated world. What you talking about? And it don't matter. Because at the end of the day, if it's real, it's going to prosper. I don't give a fuck about anybody else that's in my market, in my lane. And you shouldn't either. You see, in that book, Relentless, they said, you don't worry about the competition. They need to worry about you now. That's the problem. Your attention is too much on your competitors. Your competitors. You never watch the videos of the people swimming, and the moment they look in the next lane, they done lost the lead. Because why the fuck are you worried about what's going on to the left or the right of you? That's another thing about yoga. Your ass is not going to be able to stay balanced if your ass is always looking at if somebody else looking at you. You never realize that when you consciously thinking about if somebody judging you, you start walking weird. You like, damn, like you extra conscious on your walking. Like you thinking about every step you take, all because you worried about what somebody else is thinking about you. Now your ass is walking weird and funny because you brought so much consciousness to your walk. Now you leaning and shit. Because you worried about what somebody else thinking. Remember this, most people are worried about themselves. Unless you a five. Unless you a five. Because if you're 5, everybody's staring at you, baby. I promise you. We all staring at you. Shit. It ain't our fault. And that's another thing too, man. Like some of y'all be thinking that people staring at y'all for a negative reason. Some people just think you look good. You feel me? Sway, talk some shit to the people.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo, those yoga references are so true because even when you just focus on your own breathing, you almost just become one with that flow, that ocean, and that wave. It's kind of cool when you really get into flow in those full rooms full of everybody just doing their own stuff. That you just start hearing the like that's all you hear. You can't even hear yourself because that's how focused you are into yourself. That it's just you're just a part of the flow at that point.
Hey, y'all do me a favor. Y'all share this shit. I'm almost at 4,000 followers. Y'all can help a girl out in a cat year. Y'all can help a girl out. Y'all share this shit. Help a girl get the 4K and watch you get blessed for the rest of the cat year. Anyways, I just thought about something though. Real talk. Y'all hear me? I got something for y'all. Because I ain't never going to have y'all in here and I'm not going to give y'all something. So I was just thinking about this, right? I think the more you can become self-indulged within yourself, the more you can um, take control of your reality. And this is what I mean, right? I've been studying 11s, right? And I just see how 11s can really like make the world revolve around them. And the thing about it is that we all know attention is a beautiful currency. 5s and 11s, they can, you know what I'm saying? So I've noticed that if you can put more attention on you, the outside world is like a mirror and will also start to put more attention on you. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like the reason why we be losing some of our power is because we take the attention off of us. Like, I'm gonna be real with you, right? You start talking to somebody, you start dating them, you start really liking them, and you only want to be with them. You wake up, they're the first thing on your mind. Like they have now taken the main character role in your life, in your movie. And once you start doing that, like it's like your momentum, your sauce is gone. You gotta learn how to romanticize your life. Like you have to learn how to make your life like a movie and you continuously be the main character and be unapologetic about that shit. Like you gotta stop being afraid to talk about yourself because especially it's like okay, imagine me, I'm afraid to talk about myself but my whole career is surrounded around talking and especially expressing myself. How much of that is actually hurting me, not realizing that this is something I need to embrace. A lot of y'all are afraid to step into the center of attention because you're afraid of what other people think. Oh, they're narcissistic. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. Oh, they're this. But that's the thing about 11s, that's what fuels them, the people making remarks about them, because now you're on the front of their mind. And it doesn't matter what people think because people only have a perspective. You're a movie. Everybody's gonna have opinions on movies. And who the fuck cares about fucking rotten potatoes? I mean, rotten tomatoes. Them shit's not even accurate, anyways. So you're worrying about the critiques on your fucking movie when it don't even fucking matter because you was creating art for you and not for other people. Fuck that shit, man. I'm the main character of my shit. Can't nobody be the main character in my shit. And you need to keep that same mindset, dog. Like, I be watching people. I'm gonna give you an example. I be watching people on live, right? And they just be on TikTok and they just be doing what the fuck they want to do, not saying nothing. And they be having thousands of viewers, right? And it's like, what I start to realize is this person just into themselves that much that they expect other people to be into them. And obviously, there's a balance with everything. I mean, you got to walk it like you talk it. You can't be, you know what I'm saying? There's a balance with everything. But I've noticed that people who genuinely think they're interesting, other people genuinely think they're interesting. If I think I'm funny, other people think I'm funny. Why is this? Because this goes back to residual self image. The feelings that I feel about myself, the thoughts that I think about myself will get projected out into this avatar that everybody can perceive. You get what I'm saying? Like, I've listened to people, I've listened to people reflect back to me how I come off to them. And think about this, right? Think about this with other people too. When people talk about, oh, you came off like this, or I thought you was like this. I started to listen how people perceive me. And when certain people would say the same thing, I would notice that everything that I was writing down about how I want to be perceived, because you can design your perception. That's some deep shit. You can design your perception. Wow, I'm gonna sit on that. So you can design your perception. when you write down how you want to be perceived. Because again, if this is a movie, when you find your characters, you're writing out the personality of the character, how everybody else interact with the character, how people feel about the character. And you can do the same thing with your life. You can write down, when I walk in the room, people always tell me I smell great. When I walk in the room, people always tell me, and you'll realize how the more you write that down, the more you embody that, the fucking NPCs, this is influence, this is real influence. The NPCs of the world will start to reflect back to you what you've been telling yourself. That's when you know you've impressed the physical world. When the NPCs or even the other real people are catching your thought patterns, because that thought wave is so strong it can be picked up by other people's routers within their head and their subconscious mind, and they can reflect it back to you. That's when you know that thought, you've been giving it so much energy that it has materialized. It has gotten into someone else's subconscious. So that's the thing. If you think hard enough about how you are and who you want to be, other people will catch that thought like a stray bullet. Real talk. So the thing about it is, who do you think you are? And face that question. Because even Kanye West get asked, who do you think you are? Even Kanye West get asked, who do you think you are? And you know what's so dumb about the masses? If you keep telling them long enough, they'll accept it. Why do you think they pop hit songs? Like they make these hit songs pop so much? Because I don't care if you don't like it. I'm going to keep playing it and playing it and playing it until you tell yourself that you like it. Only because you're familiar with it. Come on, man. Like, we really started calling Kanye West Yeezus. Because he told us to. Man, people are followers. People are followers. But if you can declare yourself a leader, you can have a pack of followers of your own. You just got to learn how to walk the opposite way confidently. You can't have your comfort in a group. Don't allow your comfort to become from a group. Allow your comfort to always be from your own feelings of yourself, your own understanding, your own thoughts. You are an individual. That's what the whole point of you being a human. When you ready to go be hive mind, that's when your ass perish and you back with the one. But as of right now, you are an individual being. We all connected as one, but you're an individual being. So you need to learn how to have balance within that ego. That ego is basically a part of your identity. Don't be a fucking dick, because that shit's not attractive and nobody actually likes that. You feel me? Don't be a dick. And if you ever look at certain people with big egos, I want you to have a conversation with them behind closed doors. Things are a lot different. You feel me? Sway, what do you feel about ego?
I feel the ego definitely has to be earned and not always exercised, because it's sometimes the ego is comes from a space of survival, and so you don't always want to be in it. I always see ego needs to be a reinforcement of the soul, the soul being the higher, and that the ego helps the soul kind of push it forward, as a continuous basis of like, hey, we need to continue doing this because survival reasons, but at the same time, getting way more ahead is only going to be even better for us. And so I feel that ego does serve its own space in the environment. It's just how it's managed and, how it's used. And using it for yourself to always make yourself feeling full and at bay, I feel that it has to be there.
I feel like ego is also like a warrior for you. Like your ego, if you see, think about it, is that the same way that you have deities and all these people that you give offerings to, you have to do that also to the different variations of yourself. Your masculine, your feminine, your ego, your inner child. You have to also give offerings to those versions of you. For example, your inner child, you can go play the video game and that'll give an offering to your inner child. For your divine masculine, you can go work out. You could go fuck a bitch and that'll get your masculine off, right? Or for your feminine, you know what I'm saying? You can go and just go self-care or go take care of someone and you can get into your feminine energy. But what I've noticed is that your ego is supposed to stand up when your identity is being questioned, or when your identity is being joked about, or not respected. Your ego is meant to set things straight. It's like people say, who do you think you are? And then it's like your ego is like, you don't know who I am? Don't ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever let no nigga tell you who you think you are. Fuck is wrong with you? Bitch, I don't think I know. I know who I am. And that's why in the Matrix, it's 303 right now. That's why in the Matrix, the first thing they say is know thyself. Can't no nigga, can't nan bitch have a conversation about who you are when you know who you are. Can't nobody make you jump off of your morale or jump off of your own code because you know what it's about. You didn't have conversations with yourself about who you are. Can't nobody make you come off of what you know who you are. Like, can't nobody stop you from doing that. But that's why you have to know thyself. Period. Period. And if y'all want to come on here and say something, by all means, I would love for y'all to, say some shit. Y'all share this shit. Yeah, man. So it's like, man, that ego shit is like I think about it like sports again. Like, don't let no nigga whisper in your ear, saying some fucked up shit. Like, you got to stand up for yourself. You're not supposed to be letting people walk over you because you think you're supposed to be kind. That's fucking bullshit. That whole kindness shit, you get what I'm saying? That whole being nice shit. Man, you got to understand, they've been feeding you so you can be slaughtered. They've been teaching you people pleasing habits. They've been teaching you how to be an employee. They've been teaching you how to be a sheep so they can slaughter you. You are the cattle. The fuck? They want you to get nice and fat and big so they can eat you. They want you to go ahead and make all that money and go ahead and do it without having the right information about taxes and IRS and everything so we can just take it from you. Yes, go ahead, do all the work and go make all that money, and then we're gonna take it from you. That shit crazy for real. Hey man, y'all make sure y'all go stream my album Ori. Y'all go check that shit out. If you don't know what Ori is, you should do some research on it. It's very deep in African spirituality. Everything I do, I'm a seven, so everything I do is connected to something always. One of the songs are called 528. I didn't even know about numerology at the time. It was 2019 pig year. I'm a cat, so you already know I'm tapped in. So it's pig year 2019, and I'm making this song 528, and I'm like, they like, what should we name it? I'm like, this song is about love. Let's call it 528. Not knowing damn shit about numbers. And look at where we are now. Look at where we are now. So funny how shit go. It's like, when you look at your timeline of life, it's so funny how you've been walking past the very things that you asked for or the things that you were going to be around in the future. Like, if you ever watched the last Matrix, like the last Matrix, right? And it's like they kept walking past each other or they kept missing each other. Imagine what opportunities or what soulmates you've been already walking past around you. Isn't that fucking crazy to think about? That you could have been that you could be in front of your next big opportunity this whole time and not even know. But that's the difference between ignorant and awakened. Because let's say you know something like astrology, or you know something, you have something to decode the fucking matrix. Everybody got different shit to decode the matrix. Some people got this human design shit, some people got numerology, some people got astrology. Everybody got something to crack the code. Just like everybody got a different way to do sports betting, just like everybody got a different way to do stock market. Do y'all not see that this shit all connected? And do you not see that it's all intertwined? The more you can understand life itself, the more you can understand the code that is happening within the different systems of life. Damn, I'm really 24. That's crazy talking like this. That's how y'all know my ass been here before. My ass been here before. And it's crazy because when you think about cats, it's like, y'all ever thought about how cats, whenever I notice a cat passes away, it's always another cat that looks exactly like it that pops up within the next like 2 days. It's kind of interesting. Then they say like cats have 9 lives or like 9 dimensions. So like So like my thing is that like there must be some type of connection to time there, especially when we talk about deja vu. Must be some type of connection to time. Every time that there's like one of the biggest omen is a black cat, you know. But now we moving into Dragon Year, and it's so interesting to see like what this next year is gonna be about. But I feel like you use your calculations with numerology and astrology, and you also use your intuition. Never stop using your intuition. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Never stop using your intuition. Your intuition. If this is what they told me. Some African priestess. They told me. They said if your head can't buy it, it is not to be sold. So meaning that if somebody's trying to tell you something or somebody's trying to get you to buy into something, but your head is just not buying it, trust it. Trust it. If you can't wrap your head around it, if your head's not buying it, I'm telling you, trust it. Trust it. And within this next 8 year, I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm just like a bitch love money. How could you not like the only reason why you should be afraid next year is if your ass got some bad karma or you're a dog. Or you're a dog. Period. And it's funny because I've been talking about this whole thing about like money as a woman, right? So this is why I say trust your intuition. One day I was on live and I was just like, you can't be selfish with money. You can't be. And I was like, that sounds like a woman. I said, you know what? Money is like a woman. And I call her Monet. And I was like, damn. But then I'm on YouTube and I see Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike has this video that says, money is a woman. And I'm like, holy shit. So I'm not crazy. I tapped into a consciousness of that thought. So what I'm thinking is not, yeah, I thought of it, but what that's saying is that somebody else also thought of it, which is confirmation that yes, you're right. Money is definitely on that feminine spectrum. Hold on, y'all. It's definitely on that feminine spectrum, right? Then here comes my friend. He's like, do you peep money and mother both start with M-O? I'm like, holy shit. Hold on. M-O, M is 13, O is 15. That's 28. Holy shit. Money is a woman. So then I was like, you know what? If money is a woman, when y'all, it's a lot of men in here, right? Y'all all can say that you shouldn't give a woman too much attention, right? And just like a woman, so nobody get all funny or whatever the fuck. Just like it's just men have to pursue the woman. The woman, you don't give too much attention either, right? That's what I've noticed. That's the game. It's like the seduction game. The way that you quote unquote riz it up is you don't do too much. You don't do too much because if you do too much, you what? Look corny. You trying too hard. Why is you chasing ass? So if you wouldn't chase ass, why is you chasing a bag? Right? You chasing that back, that ass, right? So how many of y'all been thinking about money in a negative way where you like, I gotta go get it, I gotta go chase it, I gotta go like it's something that's been on the run from you. Nah, me and money got good chemistry. Y'all ever had a girl just like you and she just be on you, right? You need to get money like that with you. Where it's just on you like, but the thing about it is that don't you dress up for that girl? Don't you you be take when she come over, you take a shower for her, you clean up the whole room for her. When it's time when she trying to smash, you make sure your boy every corner of your room, you ain't hit them cobwebs in fucking years, but the moment you hear a girl coming over, you scrubbing that motherfucker with a toothbrush, like damn. So you got all this preparation for a bitch and for a woman, for a girl, for your wife, for whatever it is, but you don't got this type of preparation for money. You get up and you're like, oh, I gotta go to work. Damn, that's the energy money get from you? Damn. And guess what happens if you're not in a good relationship with someone? What do? You break up with her, right? So if you don't like the way that you getting money, what do? You break up. You don't just settle in that relationship, right? So I'm being real with y'all. Some of y'all, hey man, y'all need to get me to 4K. I'm just saying, man, like you can't. What the weekend said? He said he don't want a bitch. He what a bitch need. That sound like that need to be the gospel. That's just a like never need a bitch. I'm what a bitch need. You get it? You get it? Because guess what, right? If everybody was to stop spending money today, like we wasn't using cash no more, like if we had a whole new coin, cash money would mean nothing. Y'all saw how in certain countries that money just be on the ground? Exactly. So money really need us to circulate that bitch. Money needs us to put value behind it. Never need a bitch. I'm what a bitch need. That need to be your thinking for money. That means that if somebody come to you with a little play about a little scam, you like, I ain't never gonna risk jail time for a girl, right? Okay, so why are you risking jail time for money? You would never risk jail time for your partner, right? Like, I mean, maybe, but I'm just saying on a regular basis, like somebody you just talking to. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe for your partner, you might risk a little something. But for somebody that you just going on a date with, somebody that you just, you know what I'm saying, you cashing out with, like, I'm not risking that. And some of y'all be really hurting your money energy with the things that you participate in to get it. Like, for example, it's like trying to be someone that you're not to get a girl to like you. That's what it's like when you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing to get some cash. And then guess what happens? You end up losing yourself chasing after a girl. Y'all never watched that movie Waves? Sad story, bro. Sad story, bro. Shit crazy out here, bro. Shit crazy out here, bro. Gotta do better. Feel me? Swear. Oh, hold on. We got speakers on here.
Yeah, we got two speakers. We got
Okay, go
N
ahead.
Dip. We got N Dip, and then
Hey,
Taking Wisdom up here. Whoever want to
what's
go first.
good? What's good, people? Hey, it's taking wisdom. It's not my wisdom, but I have it. So, peep this. I fuck with you, Sticks. What you saying is correct. It's not even just the money factor. It's more so about the self because there's 9 different types of wealth. Now, the self is the most abundant form of wealth. You can look at your creativity, your social status, your family network, your business, your health. Those are all different types of wealth. But if you ain't within the self, if the self isn't abundant, how are you even gonna attract money? And a lot of the time, money be showing you lessons. To be trying to have you see, all right, look, this is a lesson you got to learn along the course of receiving or attracting money because you don't want to chase it, so that you get the wisdom of how to handle the money. Because you can get 100K tomorrow, but if you ain't know how to use it, you gonna lose it. So I see what you're saying, Sticks, and it's way deeper than just trying to attract money. People just looking for attention. That's what it really all boils down to. So give yourself that attention. Go within. Learn how to meditate. Get your feng shui cracking so that you have the ability to really look into the self and be like, I ain't got to look anywhere else externally to be validated. And whatever anyone else is saying wouldn't be wouldn't be any of your concern or important to you if you valued you enough. Let that sink in. If you value you enough, it doesn't matter what anyone else says because you know yourself better than anyone else. When you wake up and look in the mirror, that's you. When you brush your teeth, it's you. No one else is gonna do that shit for you. So appreciate those little moments. Then when the wealth starts to come into your life, that's when you can really help people out. And we happen to be carnal beings, so we want to see it. We want to see it with or feel it with the 5 senses. But in real reality, you got to use that third eye. You can see it without having to see it with your 2 eyes. What's actually good for you, you can feel it. And them lessons are supposed to be hard. That's what makes you strong. That's what makes the journey worth it. It's not just supposed to be easy. You're not supposed to get that wealth right off the bat or the wisdom or the abundance. Because let's say that 19, 18, 17, you get proposed $2 million deal, you ain't got the wisdom or the consciousness to understand that that's not necessarily the best time to take the deal. You might take it because it's like, man, two M's. I ain't ever seen that. Let me get up on that. But
The journey of the alchemist. And
right,
the reason why I talk about wealth so much is because, wealth is a representation of the journey that we go on when we're trying to build something. People don't take a full journey unless it has some type of um gift at the end. And the gift isn't always material. And the reason why I even talk about wealth is because if we've already mentioned that wealth is a woman, right? And now we've given wealth this spirit, that lets you know that wealth is also a reflection of what you see as wealth, but also the care and the love and the spirit and the sun that's within you. Because we all know the most wealthiest thing and the most abundant thing is the sun. And let's talk about it, right? What has been one of the biggest things that we call wealth? Gold, gold, God, gold, sun. They all are connected. And when I think of the word wealth, I think of that golden light. And the reason why I'm telling you guys is this because y'all think that the journey to abundance or the journey to wealth is about how many hours you put in, when it's actually about mastery. And the journey of mastery is you and yourself. Like, I've talked to some super successful people and they're like, hey, Sticks, like, it's time for you to start hiring people. And I'm like, okay, cool. But they said that the hiring process is first the work that you do on you, because the work that you do on you is what you have to pass down to your team. So before you can hire anybody, before you can do anything, before you can bless anybody, you need to have your own system in place. And the only way you can build your own system is by knowing yourself. Do you wake up at this time? No, I don't. What time makes you feel comfortable? Do you work out this time? Do you work out? Because these people have to know how to fit into your life, but they can't fit into your life if you don't have no structure or no journey or no purpose. Because if you're just in the sky, you're not grounded. Period. You feel me? So,
that's facts. You 1994 Sticks?
no, 1999.
1999. All right, I'm 1994. Getting ready to go into the year of the dragon. Ready to enter the dragon. No Bruce Lee. I'm a dog, so on top of that, where I left off, so we all know like artists that are 17, 18, 19 that got the wealth of the contract mad early, but they didn't have the wisdom. So then they fumbled the bag or they messed around and fucked with their own safety, their mental health, and their security. It's all right if you don't have the answers. You got to start somewhere, but at least you're starting from somewhere. And be appreciative that every time that you do start, you're not starting from scratch. So this network is definitely something that I downloaded Twitter to be a part of these type of conversations. Now I've been seeing you for some time, Sticks. You a Life Path 7. I'm a Life Path 33. And yeah, I just want to share the wisdom with the people.
Go ahead, Sway.
Ooh, yeah. Well, we gotta make sure to recharge ourselves, right? That that's what's so funny when you say I love myself. You can replace it with cells. Oh,
Oh, he said, oh.
yeah. Love yourself. Love yourselves.
Hey, I got a question this way. Okay, so cool. Tell me a little bit about that connection that you had about the gut, because I recently, somebody told me that I need to drink some kefir or something for the gut. And I'm wondering if that has some type of connection with actual gut instinct or like seven. So let me know what you think about that.
So the gut is where your soul lives. That's why they call it soul food. Because who doesn't love some fried chicken? Sometimes maybe it's the ancestors that want some of that. Like you said, how you feed your inner child, that through either what you take in or whatever. The soul lives at the gut, and so and when you can like for your intuition, you need your gut to be clear. I even find that when I do my own meditations or even energy work, I find to do better work and clear, stronger work when my gut is clear. when there's nothing weighing it down or in the way of it, or something that's not in alignment or in vibration with it. So I think that having a good gut regimen as well too also reinforces the soul
What
to
you do?
do what you need. So I would go with mineral rich type foods. I mean, I just do my own protocol between like either shilajit and sometimes sea moss. Like even the other day, I was at the beach and I saw like sea moss on the brushing up on the shore. You gotta be careful, of course, where you source it, but I trust myself and I trust my inner gut, my inner knowing. It's like how you say, if your head's not sold on it, then no, you shouldn't do it. And I usually be trusting it, and I didn't have no negative reactions. It's just been all pretty good. I've actually been in a pretty good mood from it, and
So
you know.
what? So give me a little list of some things that I could get from my gut. The world wants to know.
So I've been seeing kefir is one of my favorite things. I go to Trader Joe's and I get the goat kefir. It can be a little bit sweeter. I don't know how the cow ones are, but I love kefir. I've been like doing shots of it.
Bitch, I said kefir. What the hell you said?
Kefir. I believe it's pronounced kefir, but people say kefir. I don't know if it's kefir or kefir, but they have it in water version. But then the kefir. Oh yeah, it's because one's a drink. Like GT's, the kombucha brand, they make that water version, but the kefir that I'm talking about, it's like a yogurt, because it's like probiotic.
Ah,
Yeah, I gotta put you on. I be doing that like in the risings when I want to start my gut up. Like let's say if I extending my fast or something, I'll do one of those shots to like start the system up to get the gut going. So then when I start putting stuff into it, that I'll have the right acid to like break things down. So then, when it's in there in my body, like it's not gonna be holding it down and be heavy. At least it'll be broken down.
is chicken wings good for my gut?
Not too many fried ones. The oil balance, yeah, it can be a little bit rough on us because our composition it isn't any part oil. I don't think so. We're carbon-based forms, but 70% water, and that's why like things that can be hydrating at times. Like yesterday night for my dessert, I had like pomegranate seeds and like pieces of chocolate, and every time I took a bite, like I just felt so hydrated and so happy. I don't know what it was, and of course the little pieces of chocolate because chocolate has magnesium. Magnesium's good for headaches, so don't skip out on the chocolate if you ever feel like, yo, I need some chocolate or something sweet. Like, the darker the better. The bitter, bitter's good for you. So, bitters medicines. That's why when you take certain herbs, they're called bitters. So that's why chocolate, when it's bitter, it's good for you too. So don't sleep on the chocolate.
I like this little Twitter shit. So everybody, y'all, I don't know how deep y'all into the astrology. So does this mean now that Twitter's a cat? Because shit, if I'm finding out Twitter a cat now, then I'm about to put in some work on this bitch. What y'all think?
Yeah, you should definitely be putting in work in this platform. It got the First Amendment behind it. The First Amendment behind it. Power, freedom of speech. You're a life past 7. You're intelligent. Your wisdom is on point. You can tell when someone's wisdom is on point because you feel it. You just don't hear it. You feel it and it resonates at home. So
You know why
I
I
don't.
think that though? I think that because I feel like some people are just they're just saying what they remember or what they heard because that's what school taught us. You know what I'm saying? So when we hear people speak certain wisdom, the vibration isn't theirs. Does that make sense? But when I speak on certain wisdom, like everything I be saying is literally like a channeled message. And let me tell you something, like I got a lot of earth placement, so I know I'm a 7, but I really don't like that woo woo shit. Like I promise you, like I don't know if it's because I'm a cat, so I'm really like down to earth, but it's like I really don't be liking all that woo woo shit. So but I'm gonna be real with you. When I speak, I come on here. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I didn't change the title about 3, 4, 11 times. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I just allow it to flow. And the thing about it is, I think that you have to have certain numbers or certain energy for you to be able to retrieve those downloads, because it's almost like, think about your hair, like in the sun. You know, certain people probably have a better ability of picking apart certain information from the sun and deciphering it, depending on maybe how they grew up, or depending on how they were taught to express themselves, depending on how they were taught to think. I've always just, whenever I receive a thought, I just try to unravel it as much as I can to understand where does it come from. And I've noticed that maybe through ancestral lineages that I speak in analogies. And I think the reason why is because my ancestors spoke in riddles. So I remember I was tripping out one time, and it's like, man, I was hearing shit, man. I was hearing shit, man. And I was like, I feel like I'm hearing riddles. Like, I feel like they're talking to me in riddles. And it's like, think about it. Who the only people that talk to you in riddles? Your old ass grandma and granddaddy. And what they be saying, all right, now, got to be more careful. Or they be like, hard head make for a soft behind. It's always riddles. You get what I'm saying? And I've noticed that most of the most intelligent things that are spoken are in riddles. So, that's just something that I've noticed about information, that sometimes maybe the best way to understand it is in the form of a riddle or an analogy.
Yeah, that is facts. And so beyond metaphysics, what's getting super popular right now is obviously numerology, but no one talks about what created numbers, and that's sound. So when we hear sounds like the that's where numbers came from. So being clairaudient, being able to decipher whether someone actually means what they're saying or are they just regurgitating some shit that they fucking heard. Like sometimes people will say some shit and you can hear it. Like, man, you don't even believe the shit you saying. You just want some attention. I fucking feel it, and it is a psychic skill. But to tie back into the sunlight and how you were getting the information, our hair is our antennas. So when you picking up the information, you're deciphering it, and the way that your sun is beaming on you, and how much sunlight you can attract and where you can go with it is different from the next person. Not to say that one is better than the other. The lion is the lion, the tiger is the tiger, and the cheetah is the cheetah. They all have their part. However, there are a specific place and time that each animal has their part. So without bees, as tiny as bees are, without honey, that would change the whole hierarchy of nature. If bees couldn't go and grab the pollen, bring it back to the hive, and pollinate and make honey, just that little ass insect, if bees were extinct, would change the whole hierarchy of many animals. If animals or if lions were to go extinct, every animal beneath the line would not feel the pressure of having to feel the urge of needing to eat. It's the lion that keeps the other animals in check, and they got to go out there and figure it out. But just if the lion went extinct, many other species would go extinct. So that's how we got to just get back to things. It's not about necessarily being the best at stuff. Like, yeah, be the best in your lane, your abilities, your gifts and talents, but we're all alike more than we are different, but we all got to get back to our natural environments and just figure out and go within. It's not an ego thing, and too much ego is a bad thing, but just enough will get you to where you need to be. I'm sure that Sticks, you wouldn't even be hosting this space right here or be in the position you weren't in if you knew, like, hey man, I got some type of intelligence that the people need to hear. And yeah, there is a fine line between ego and confidence, but hey, you know yourself the best. Like Kanye said, they called him a genius, or he called himself a genius, and they got mad at him for that shit. But man, he's the one cooking in the studio. He's the one getting blessed with the vision. If it was meant for anybody else, it would have been in your mind, but you can't feel it. Therefore, you condemn it. That's crazy to me. That's
My
crazy.
my thing is too, is like, people want to talk about the ego and the humble thing, and it's like, again, like, know that balance. But I'll tell you this. I've gotten fucked over the most for being humble and not protecting myself, not standing up and being like I'm the shit when I needed to be. Because the thing about it is that when you don't have no type of, you see, that ego is almost like a little bit of pride for yourself. You got to have some type of pride for you. You got to have some type of respect for yourself where it's like, man, like, I know I'm the shit. Because people can always tell you you're not the shit, but know you the shit because they want access to the shit. Does that make sense? You feel me? I think Renee wants to speak.
Yes. Hi everybody, and hi Sticks. It's been a
Hey.
yeah, it's been a while. I've been watching you on Instagram, and I love your energy. It's amazing. You're very wise, intelligent. I love it. I just wanted to chime in on the gut health when you were asking what else you wanted for your gut. Honey. I recently got that
Ooh.
information. Honey, just eating honey all alone, like alone on a spoon, is good for your gut too. It's crazy because I was talking about that in another space last night at like 3 a.m. And they were like, yeah, what's good for our gut? Because the gut is the way to channel source energy through us. Like, that's how we're connected. And we were all just giving each other tips and tricks. So this is funny how it's reiterated again today.
I think I definitely needed to hear that, honey, because Oshun has been playing a big part in my life, and especially within this part of my life. So I feel like, and then looking at your picture, and it's just so much yellow. I definitely think I was supposed to hear that.
Yeah, even one thing I've learned with the eating of honey, use a wooden spoon. That's why when you see like those little wooden honeycomb things, the little wooden sticks, because supposedly metal changes the structure of the honey, and even if you were to put it into like tea and the water's really hot, that kind of also changes the structure. So she's right on point with that.
That's why copper is good is to use as well. If you got like copper spoons or, well, yeah, copper silver and stuff like that. Copper
Let
knives.
me write this shit down. Y'all niggas teaching me some shit.
Yeah, copper is
That's funny.
awesome. You know,
Y'all teach me some more shit. Come on, somebody come up here and teach some shit. Come on now.
I was gonna piggyback off of what you just said about like the self pride and everything, and knowing yourself. Everybody got a vision. Everybody's sent here for something, and that's kind of like what the holy books are talking about. Like, for example, like the whole ideology of Christianity. Like, we're all Jesus. We all are manifested. We all had an immaculate conception, be born here. We're the chosen sperm that was manifested on this plane to come here and do some shit. And I think it's just funny because people do some hella dumb shit in this earth, but we all have like a vision. We all have a purpose to like give to the world, and it's important to know like your self worth and what you can bring to the table on a global scale.